So if you could introduce yourself
Yeah.
and your company.
Okay. So I'm Shaka Ramulifho. I'm the CEO of Sunkambe, CEO and founder. So basically, the company is an IPO for artists, an initial person offering for artists. So basically, the same concept where a private company goes public, we're doing that for artists and labels. So the artist becomes, the public becomes a shareholder in the artist. So the problem we're trying to address is that every Sunday you see a newspaper article about a legend in the music industry, dying poor, the family begging for donations. I mean, it's a bad picture, but it's just the current reality is what we're seeing. And then we find that 2 out of 3 artists in Africa die poor because record label kept 65% of music rights of their lifetime. What we're trying to do different is that we're trying to say, okay, you can give out, a portion of your music rights, but only for 18 months. We don't have to keep it for the entire life. So after 18 months, you get the royalties. Hopefully, you know, people will still be buying your music. You'll still be getting your royalties, so you can live off your craft. So basically, that was the main idea behind why we launched the platform, to say the model works well in the US, but it doesn't work well in Africa. Uh, a simple example is that in the US, you need to get platinum, you need a million CDs sold. In Africa, that's 50,000. So 50,000 times 100, a million times. Yeah. So the dynamics does not work. The dynamics does not work. So we just like, no, we need to create a solution that's fostered more for Africa and for developing countries. So that's when the whole concept of Sankambe came up.
So if I'm an artist and I sign up for the service,
Yeah.
and then someone invests in me,
Yes.
what do I get? How does that benefit me?
So basically, as an artist, you need cash. Any business needs cash too. You either you want to record, you want to hire a promotion team to promote your album, make sure it gets played on radio. So you get that entire amount. So obviously we have safeguards to say we can't pay it to your account because it may be a stigma that artists are they're ballers. So we pay it to the service provider that's going to be doing the actual work. Right,
Okay.
just to make sure that the money doesn't. So you get that money, and you forfeit, and you still benefit because the record label will keep 65%, you get 35%, as an example. Here in this case, you keep 65%, the public gets 35%.
Okay.
So it's like you get a bigger share of your own works. So I think that's a major difference because, and after 18 months, all that 35% based on your evaluation comes back, on our evaluation comes back to you and you own 100%. So I think that's the biggest, it's more the spirit of you eat, I eat.
And you have partnerships with different service providers.
Yes. Yes.
And
So-
they offer the best value for the money. You've made sure that you have the best value and best quality
Yeah.
for the artist.
Yeah. So we're trying to do what we're trying to implement now is a vetting process where we get that party to go to the party to say, are these guys, what is the sentiment around this organization? Are people saying, complaining about the services? Are they not delivering? So that's kind of service where it's more like the Twitter verification to say, no, we've tested these guys, they're good for money. If you go with them, we will, so we're trying to streamline the entire music creation process. I mean, in 2 years, because that's what we wanted to achieve. We wanted to be an app where an artist can manage the bookings, the royalties, the revenue collection from your smartphones. And from the investor side, we want them to be able to sell. Say something happens after you have invested in an artist, to sell in an exchange. So basically,
Okay.
yeah. So basically, that's what we're working on. We have a pretty robust advisory board. We have a CEO of a hedge fund that's helping us with the process of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So you're moving then.
yeah, it amazes me. I mean, the advisory board is someone of that caliber, supporting the vision. It's amazing. I mean, we have an IBM exec in South Africa. We have a CEO of hedge fund. We have a lecturer who's at Vega School of Design. He's got 21 years. So he's a marketing.
Yeah.
So we have a pretty solid team that's trying to make sure that we deliver best value, and because they believe in the scalability of this. Yeah, so basically that's it. So that's.
Are you going to do anything because it's happening all over the world, and I think it's even happening, or maybe having a great impact in Africa, is that there aren't many CD sales, like authentic CD sales of artists. Artists make their money from shows.
Yeah.
Shows don't pay artists very much money. There's this, I don't know about in South Africa, I know in Ghana and in Nigeria, there's always this struggle to get yourself on stage and get $20 or something at the end of the show. You've got these, like, you go to the reggae concert and you see all these artists standing on stage itching to get on just because they want to sing one song or get their face seen. How are you going to combat that? Because it's all very well getting the investment to do the recording and everything. Well, how do I get my money back? Because no one buys my CDs or my MP3s or whatever.
No, so that's a very good question, because I've had it before. So the original concept was we'll share royalties. They're like, okay, our royalties don't pay in time, how will I get my money back? So that's when we decided to go for the entire revenue that we make in the 18 months. So the bookings, the streaming income, the royalties that you get, everything that you get that's commercially significant and music related, you get a share of it. So with regard to streaming, I mean, there's only 5 now with Spotify. Companies.
Spotify just came to South Africa. That's cool, huh?
It's very cool.
although if I cut you, my comment on our Twitter feed was, why are they going to take the market share in South Africa? There should have been a bigger company that stopped them from coming in.
Yeah, I mean, they should have blocked them, because it's
absolutely should have blocked them. I agree. I agree 100%.
But we'll see. I mean, there's I mean, I read a report which said there's only 250,000 actively paid subscribers, and that's spread between iTunes, Deezer, etc. So it's still very, in Africa, I think the advantage of this platform with regards to CD sales would be that physical sales are still very much relevant. I know in some countries they just disappear and people don't buy CDs.
Sadly, haven't bought a CD in years. It's sad. It used to be a great pleasure going to buy a CD for me as a youngster, but now I don't even buy it online anymore.
So I think we're trying to combat that by including all the possible revenue sources that may come up.
Okay.
And also by managing the quality that we approve. Right, that we approve to raise money. So basically, that's a 2-step process. So we have created a committee of labels, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of like before the artist is approved, we want to make sure that at least 30% is already invested by the labels. So it'll be like an Instagram feed where you say Universal invested in this artist. So then you know that someone with experience, expertise has invested in this artist, so they believe that this person can sell. So we're trying to minimize a lot of that.